Morning! Morning! I'm here with my sister, Teddy Bear and Billy Bob, and this morning we've parked at Thirlmere as we're going to do Raven Crag and a loop over to Castle Fort, which is an old Iron Age hill fort, so it's quite interesting. Great views over Thirlmere and over the Shoulthwaite Valley. So we're going to do a circular loop on the forest tracks around from Thirlmere. So I think it's about, what, a 4-mile loop, is it?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe a bit more.
I don't know, it's not very far.
Oh, so even less. Oh, but well, I'll let you know how far it is when we finish. Yeah. So I hope you come and join us on our wee adventure. So the route starts from the Thirlmere Road and you head up on a public footpath signposted Ben Loop, and you follow quite steeply up a forest track. And you've got views of Raven Crag. I'll just pan you around. There's Raven Crag that we're going to head up to today. And you head up, it looks quite imposing. You head up round the side and round the back. And it's quite easy to get up onto the top of Raven Crag. And you do get some views of Thirlmere from the forest road. But the views on the summit of Raven Crag are amazing of Thirlmere. You've got a proper viewing platform and you've got steps, wooden steps heading up through the trees. It's a really nice place, and it is actually quite popular now with campers as you get such a nice viewpoint. But it's nice for a picnic, just to have a coffee, and it only takes about 40-45 minutes, I'd say, to get to the top. So it's quite an easy one to do. But then we're going to head round to Castle Fort, which gives you a view of the Shoulthwaite Valley behind, and it's quite a dramatic location on a very steep rocky outcrop. So I'll give you a bit of history about that later on when we're on the top of it. Okay, so we have actually come on the easier forest track. From the Thirlmere Dam, you can actually come straight up on a bit of a dirt track. Just pan you around, so you can come up from the road just down there, where you can park as a layby for about 3 cars, and then you come straight up. You come to this crossroads, and you can, if you want, head very steeply up there, but it is steep, so we tend to just follow the main track and it bends round to reach the same point. So the best place that you can park really is on the A591. There's a lay-by, room for about 8 cars, I would say, and you have to walk up past the dam on the dam road, as you can't drive up the dam road anymore. So in a bit you look out for a faint trod on your left, and you can see people coming down it and up. It takes you up on a shortcut, up round the back like that, and you'll reach a gate and then the step path onto Raven Crag summit. Right, have a get, buddy, have a get.
I was going to say, yeah, we've got some white patches, but that's very white.
Oh no. It's just a little dodgy section at the start. It's a little bit tricky. As Anitra is showing you. But she's loving me taking this. Yes, once you've got up that tricky bit, it's quite a good path, and it does cut off a big chunk, especially if you just want to do Raven Crag on its own and not do the Ben. You get great views in a bit looking back at Thirlmere. Raven Crag looks really imposing and dramatic. So you can see the forest path that we've come up on. So that's looking back to Thirlmere, and you've got the Dodds behind. Oh, is it? So you come up to the gate, you've got a double gate. I need to show you the second one. Thank you. So that's looking back to the double fence. This is the track coming up to Raven Crag. We're going to come back this way once we've done Raven Crag, and then you head left over to Castle Hill Fort, which you can't see for the trees. So we'll do that, and then the path heads further on and round in the circle and the Shoulthwaite Valley back round. You reach the top of the steps and you come to a boardwalk, and it's not far to the viewing point on Raven Crag summit. There you go. There's a viewing platform there. Glimpse of what the view is going to be like. This is the summit of Raven Crag.
I was just saying, it's almost a bit icy, isn't it?
It
You can
is.
see it's just a little bit.
So we've just come down to this little viewpoint. I know. To get a better view of Thirlmere. Now, unfortunately, this is the problem of social media, I think, making things a bit more popular, as people camp here now, and they've literally tried to set light to that huge log. Used to be really good to see that. Yeah. And they've actually tried to set fire to it. There's a fire pit there.
Well, remember when there was a fire?
Burnt log there. It's like kind of fire pits here. And it does actually state you're not supposed to have fires here at all, as it's a forest. So that's looking over to Blencathra. You've got High-Rig in the foreground, Clough Head in the distance, Calfhell Pike, over to Great Dodd, Watson's Dodd, is it Starling Dodd? Or Starbower Dodd? Starbower Dodd, Helvellyn, you've got Thirlmere, and you'll have Fisher Crag, Dunmore Raise at the far end, leading to Grasmere, Steel Fell in the far distance, and Aldscarf. Yeah, it was only, what, a couple of years ago, was it, when they had that fire on Raven Crag? Was it a couple of years ago? No, no. What are you doing? Yeah, there was a fire here. It was a couple of years ago. We drove past, you could see all the flames shooting off the top of Raven Crag. So I'm not quite sure if that was a barbecue or a fire that somebody had actually lit. But yeah, there's signs everywhere saying not to have fires. It's a shame, really. That's what happens when things get popular. So down there you can see the dam. And right over there is A591, and you can park there and you have to walk up the road, close the vehicles, across the dam to this point.
Because I obviously, so they haven't changed that. That looks free still, doesn't it? That other lane.
Yeah, so we're just saying that for parking, if you go down this kind of access track, which is along there, off the A591, which is a single track road, you can come along here and reach that lay-by there, where you can see about 5 cars. You can park for free there at the moment. There's a triangle a bit there. That I think you have to pay. Or as I say, you can park on the A591 free and walk up the dam road, across the dam to this point. So you can also park and pay and display car parks at Steel End, at the far end of Thirlmere, and then at Dobgill Car Park and at Armboth. So we're leaving Raven Crag now, heading back on the same path, back to the double gate, and then we're going to veer off to Castle Fort. And Castle Fort is it's a site of an old Iron Age fort. It's held in quite a dramatic place. So it had natural defences, but apparently it had a ditch on one side, and it's got some rock cut platforms, which you can't really see because the heather hides it, but it is still a dramatic place just to head to and look over the Shoulthwaite Valley, over at the crags of Iron Crag, Goat Fell and Blueberry Fell. And I think it says it's dated post-Roman, so it's very late Iron Age, and they seem to think that maybe 1 or 2 families lived there. So it's just an interesting place to go and visit. we've just headed through the double gates. We go left when you reach this track and then take an immediate right through another gate. And you can see and you can see the fort just there. It's a cool wee path this, it really is. You've got a bit of a boardwalk, you've got a little bridge, and you're going to get an amazing view of Shoulthwaite Valley in a bit. So you've got a little sign saying Castle Crag Fort, and you just make your way up. The path heads round to the right onto the top. Just care is required because the path does go on the edge a little bit. Looking back to the Ben, and that is Raven Crag up there. This is where you really don't want to slip. Ooh, we're on the edge. It's a very boggy path. The Shoulthwaite Valley. Isn't it fantastic? We've got the crags, it's amazing. You've got Skidder, you've got the fault line going up to Great Calver, Glencathra, the Ben. And this is the top. It really is not a very big place at all. This is it. You've got a little, I don't know what you call that, a survey, is it a survey marker? But you can see there's a very steep drop on the far side, so it would have had really good natural defences. So I presume this is when the Celtic tribes were here. There would have been a lot of fighting going on, and this would have been a good defence and a good lookout to see if any warring tribes were coming up the valley.
I feel like the king of the castle.
The Queen.
Queen.
You're the Queen.
I'm the queen of the castle.
So we're heading off Castle Fort now. Now you could incorporate the Ben, which is in front of you as you come down, and I have done that before in another video, so you can watch the other previous video of Raven Crag and the Ben to see what the summit's like. We're not going to do that today, we're just going to head right down. Okay, so that's the Ben there, so you could just head back down on the forest road, and where it forks you would take the right fork to head round the back, and then on the far side of the Ben you come up a very boggy track onto the summit, and then you go back down and there is a forest road and a gate heading back on the path you came in on. But we are going to head down to the Shoulthwaite Valley and have our lunch right down by the river. So we're going to, at the fort, we're going to head left and meander down, and the forest track will head all the way around back to Thirlmere. So here you can see the top of the rocky outcrop where the fort would have been. So you can see what I mean about the natural defences. So dramatic. Isn't it fantastic?
So maybe we went up think we went up on the far road and back on the far road completely.
I love coming to places where you've got a bit of history, and you can just imagine, or try and imagine what it was like living here in such a remote place. Totally different to how we live today, totally different. So it would have been late Iron Age, so there would have been a lot of deforestation at that time, a lot more staying in one place, a lot more farming going on, but also like warring tribes, so quite a dangerous time to live. But I just think it's amazing. I just love thinking about how people used to live back then. I just love that old pine stump. And they're just laughing at me. So just coming back to the forest road. Oh, that's Raven Crag that way. So we're now going to head left on a good forest track, heading towards the Ben and the Shoulthwaite Valley. So I've noticed a lot of comments on like the Burkitts and the other forums about the Ben and how there's fencing blocking the path and that people have to climb over the fence. So as I said before, so people are actually saying that you can't access the Ben because it's private, but that's not the case. You literally carry on past this fence down towards the Shoulthwaite Valley. Where it forks, you head right and you go around the other side, and there's a grassy boggy path heading up the other side onto the summit of Ben. And there is a footpath sign from the down road saying the Ben Loop, so you can access the summit. So I just love this side of the valley. You've got these dramatic crags, you've got nice forestry, nice pine trees, you've got nice spruce trees, coniferous trees. So green this time of year. As you can see, the northern fells are in the sunshine. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I mean, when you actually look to your right, and that is the Ben up there, yeah, you do think, how on earth do you get up there? But it's actually quite an easy path. It's no difficulty, just boggy. Okay, so we've come to the point where you reach a fork in a bend. To do the bend, you would head right at this point and head up quite steeply actually on the forest road, as I say, around the far side of the Ben. You can watch my previous video for that. We are going to continue down the hill, heading to the Shoulthwaite Valley, And we're going to have our lunch at the river. It's a really nice spot, and it makes a good circular route if you just want to do Raven Crag. So we've got to the river now, and there's a bridge. So I'm just going to show you. Get through the gate. Billy. It's quite nice sitting here, looking up the valley. It's a lovely spot here. So I'm just trying to see where Castle Fort would be. I think that's Castle Fort there. And we've come along the forest track. That was a nice little stop by the river, having our picnic. So we're now going to head, keeping on to the forest track, and it will take us back to the other side by Thirlmere to where we parked the car. So it's probably going to be about, what do you reckon, half a mile? Yeah. Something like that. So I'm going to say goodbye as I'm nearly back at the car. It's been a great little about a 3.5 mile route, lots of interest. You've got fantastic views of Thirlmere, you've got history, you've got an Iron Age fort, you've got fantastic dramatic crags, you've got the forest. What's not to like?
Yeah, it's been great.
So catch you all again on another adventure very soon. Bye for now.
I tried putting my bell on him.
Did you?
But actually, you can't actually do it from that far away. So probably,
It's time to go home, Billy. Come on, it's time to go home. Off you get. Billy says bye. Mwah. Good morning and welcome to Map and Scissor Time, and this is a route for Raven Crag from Thirlmere. And you park on the A591 coming from Keswick, and I'm afraid we're off the map here, but you park just opposite the dam road on the layby, just down here. I'll put the coordinates and a GPX file in description so you know where to park, and you come up on the dam road. You could alternatively park here at the triangle here, which is a pay and display, or here by a free lay-by, room for about 3 cars, but that's usually full. And you access that from the A591 and you look out, it's a really bad junction here. It's a dual carriageway, so it's best to go all the way past the dual carriageway, turn round and then go back on yourself. So this single track road will be on the right side of you, and you turn left along this road here, and you can say park here or there. You have to pay at this one, and that one's free. That would make the route a bit shorter. If you can't get any of these, you can park on the A591 down here, which is free, room for about 10 cars, and then just walk up the damn road, turn right at this junction, and you look out for a public footpath saying the Ben Loop, which takes you onto a forest road. Is up here, so carry on along. This is the forest road like this. You could go up this bit, it's a dirt track and it's quite steep, so you could do that option as well. It takes you to the same road, and then you head along back on yourself, and you want to aim for the side and round the back of Raven Crag. So you can actually take this point here, which is a trod steeply up the side up to a double fence and double gate here, and then you access the stepped path through the plantation onto a boardwalk, onto a viewing platform on Raven Crag summit, 461 metres, and it's a great viewpoint of Thirlmere. It's like really steep off here. As I say, you've got the viewpoint that you can view the lake, or you can head down a little bit just on a shelf and get a better view here. Then you make your way back on the same track back to the double gate, and then to get the Castle Crag Fort, you head left and immediately right through a gate, over a wee bridge, onto the summit of Castle Crag Fort here. And great vantage point into the Shoulthwaite Valley, very dramatic and steep off this side. And it wouldn't have been a very big hill fort, but it is quite interesting. And then you head back onto the forest track, heading for the Shoulthwaite Valley side, and you get to a fork in the path. If you'd head right, this takes you up round the side onto the Ben. This is how you access it round this side, Sipling Crag, the Ben, and then you could just head down this road back to the path. And I have done a walk on that previously, so you can check that out. But today we aren't doing the Ben. At this fork, at this junction here, we're going to head left round to the Shoulthwaite Valley to a gate, and where there's a bridge just here, and it's a really nice place to have a picnic. Then you head back through the gate, round on this track here, about a mile along this path here, back to the Thirlmere Road, and then back along here to where you parked here, or back on the A591. Good time for my map to actually stop, as I've now finished. I hope you enjoyed the wee video. I hope you enjoyed the wee Christmas fun spirit and trying to find all the Santas. And well done if you got them all. Catch you all again on another adventure very soon. Bye for now.